Okay, so let's start with the fact that the Troops of Doom's live show are based on the band's own compositions mostly. But given the fact that you were a crucial part of Sepultura, the setlist, has to include a few tracks from those early days. So let's dwell a little on this topic. How now, as a professional musician, do you view the material that was created when basically you were a teenager?
Yes, strange for me because I think we didn't know what we were doing in the beginning of the in the middle of the 80s. So we were doing whatever we wanted to, and with passion, and I mean we didn't see Sepultura in the beginning as a as a band like business. We were only with passion doing that, and then we didn't have any support from studios or producers in the beginning. I can tell for myself in the first two albums, Bestial Devastation and Morbid Visions, and we didn't have uh, any support from people who works with music already worked with music in our state, in our country. So every studio that Sepultura went, we we were you like treat like like uh, not good people and okay, what you doing with the sound of my amplifier? No, I'm playing my song. No, it's not right. This is not okay. It's too loud. It's too drive and too aggressive. You cannot use my amplifier. So we have this problem. And in that time, Brazil was on military government, so wasn't a democracy as we know now. Um, and so we couldn't uh, get instruments from outside. We couldn't import things from and instruments and material and backline and everything. So we were on the hands of the studios and people who has much money than us. So we were very poor at the time. So we had to use the same instruments from other bands and things like that. So nowadays, when or 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago, I was talking to Igor Cavalera, and we were, you know, talking about re-record one song, something like that, for his channel on YouTube, uh, Beneath the Drums. And then he was talking to me, okay, and I was recording for the Troops of Doom the Antichrist track from Sepultura. So I had the drums and I had the metron and I have the click and I have the guitars and the bass. So I didn't have the vocals yet from Alex. So I talked to Igor and he was like, okay, you already have this material, like you have the click with the metronome, and I can put my drum on it, and I can put it on my channel, and I can ask Max to record the vocals and the other guitar. So I was like, okay, let's do it, and then we did that, and was very good. And then after that, I used the same track with the Troops of Doom for our recordings, and well, what we talk in that time, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, I don't remember, but we made the Troops of Doom in the first gigs, first 3 or 4 gigs from the Troops of Doom after the pandemic times in 2021 and two. We open act for Cavalera Brothers in Brazil for 2 gigs in the south of Brazil and Rio de Janeiro. So when we played that songs, we played like Antichrist, the Troops of Doom, Antichrist, Morbid Visions, and Bestial Devastation, I think. And we played live before the guys entered the stage. And then after the gig, Igor and Max was like, "Hey man, that was fucking great." I mean, to listen now the songs from that era, from Sepultura, from 84, 85, 86, listen it now with, I mean, with good instruments, with a good sound, in a big place. It's amazing. It's amazing. So we now we can see that the sound from in the 80s from Sepultura was very good. I mean, the producer was shit, was bad. I mean, we couldn't produce anything at that time. So that's it. We enter in the studio and kick everything out, and then that's it. You guys have to leave the studio now. You don't have more money, and that's the song. So now we can listen to this, and we can play in good instruments, in good sounds, good backline, and this is amazing because the songs just uh, looks like actual for me, like very very present. I mean, uh, any band from death metal and thrash metal could write these songs nowadays. So we are very happy with this result. And then after that, the Cavalera brothers re-released and re-record the three first albums, also the Schizophrenia album. And well, it was great because that was the idea since the beginning from Igor and Max to re-record the songs like they were in the past, but with a good sound system, a good producer, and a good studio. I love that.
We can say that you were the first because you recorded new versions of the old songs with the Troops of Doom on the EPs. So was it fun to record them with the knowledge and experience you've already gained?
Yes, yes, it was very, very fun and very, very good, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah, we were the first to record this. Yeah.
And how would you compare the material from Bestial Devastation to Morbid Visions? Because I have the release of this album, and Max on the liner notes states that, in his opinion, the full-length album was a step backwards musically comparing to Bestial Devastation because you didn't evolve, but you wanted to quickly make a full-length album.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, I love the both albums. In Brazil, it's two albums, right? It's an EP and an LP, but in a full album. But I think when we released this in the rest of the world from Roadrunner in the beginning, uh, they released this as a full album and put the EP Best of Devastation uh, together. So I, I love the album Morbid Visions. I think it's more professional. I think we had more budget to do it. We had a better studio. I mean, nobody wants us in the studio, but that time, but was a very good studio in São Paulo. Was our first professional recording. Like Best of Devastation, we record in 4 hours, I think, and Mob Divisions, we stay in the studio for a week, something like that, and then we had time to mixing and everything. Uh, I think Morbid Vision is more an expression of what we were listening at the times, and Best of Devastation was more raw. I like this, but I also like the style of the songs and the structures of the songs, the way we built the songs in Morbid Visions.
And were there any mistakes or decisions in the studio that now, as an experienced musician, make you laugh? Because Max stated in the liner notes that you forgot, for example, to tune in instruments.
That's true. We if you take a guitar now, pick up a guitar now, and you play, you can see it's hardly you're gonna tune this as the same, like Best of Devastation and Mob Divisions. And I can tell you that each song has a particular tune. So we didn't had time and we didn't had experience for that. Like okay, let's pick up the tune and from I don't know a pedal board and let's tune it. No, we just tune it on the guitar. Like okay, the six chords are okay, the six strings are okay. So that's it. So give me your guitar, Max. Okay, it's just like mine. Okay, let's record it. So it was crazy because nowadays you have to listen and sometimes I have to make another tune and then okay I was doing like these notes and then I transport this to another tune and a standard one, something like that. But uh, we did some crazy shit at the studios in that time. But something like there was a huge professional piano in the middle of this room in the second studio for Morbid Visions, and we went to McDonald's at the time. We were very starving. We didn't have money at all, so we had to eat at McDonald's every day. So we went to a McDonald's and we bring like burgers, like two burgers for each, and big Coca-Colas and fries, and we put everything over the piano. So I can remember the face of the owner of the studio. So he was like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
And how did
And
it
we
happen? And how did it happen that you recorded all the bass track for the albums? And why did Paulo was credited as the bass player on these recordings?
Well, he was the bass player, but he asked me to in the beginning to record the bass, and I record some basses. Max record some basses also, but because what we didn't have time. I mean, Paulo was very nervous. Was no experience at the time. For me, he's a huge bass player now. He's a very professional. He's very he's the part of Sepultura, the original part of Sepultura till nowadays. And yeah, I love his style of playing. He's like, making all the business for Andreas to make his solos, and it's very punch. It's very heavy, and alive. It's when you see Sepultura live now, it's amazing his sound of bass, and but that time Paulo didn't have experience. He was kind of nervous sometimes, and make some wrong notes, and then I was just like a friend from a band has to do it, so I did that. So let me record for you because I know the phrases, I know everything. I can use the bass pick, and I can do it for you very quick. So we did that. Yeah, but it was okay. I don't know if they did other recordings like if Andreas record for Paulo sometimes. I don't know, but it was like that in the beginning. But I mean, it's most because of the time we had.
And many musicians who were part of a legendary band, they release solo albums, they release albums with their own bands, but also they fall into a trap of performing only their old repertoire. Like the promoters say,
Yeah.
it's one night only, and that's another, then another, then another, and then
Yes.
ended up with bunch of covers. And how not to fall for that? Because you probably received plenty of attractive business proposals.
Yes, I received a lot. I still. Um, I the only thing I agree now, and people ask me to do it, and I think it's okay. It's not. I'm proud of it, of my history with the Sepultura guys, and the only thing they ask me nowadays, I mean that the two managers and the promoters and everybody, it's to put the name on the poster and like on the for the gigs, like okay, we want to use your name as the former guitar player from Sepultura, and it's okay for you. And I said, yeah, sure, it's okay, yeah. And we are in a kind of a transition in the heavy metal world now. I can see until the last, until the pandemic times, until 2020, every gig I was playing was a lot of old guys like me, like people, I mean, more than 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. Only that kind of fans went to the gigs. And after this pandemic times, I can see a lot of kids, a lot of 14 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, especially in Europe. And also in Brazil, but in Europe, it's amazing because I can see, fathers with really little kids on the shoulders. And I can see 12, 13 years old guys with the vests, with a lot of patches and everything, in old patches like from Venom, from Exciter, from Creator, Slayer, Metallica, and bands like that. So this transition, it's very good because we are, getting a new market again, and a new spirit for this kind of extreme music, and so those kids, they don't know me, they don't know like my guitar player, they don't know my history most of the time because they are very young. I have four kids. My older kid, my youngest uh, daughter is 17 years old. So I have a kid with 37 years old. I have my son with 31 and another son with 24 and my daughter with 17. So my daughter doesn't know Sepultura. She doesn't know at all. So uh, if a friend of her, if she said to a if she says to a friend of her in the school, like, "Oh, my father was from Sepultura," and most of the guys from 17 and 16 was like, "What? What the fuck? What was that?" He's a graveyard. He's a grave man. So, but the kids going to this rock and roll and heavy metal market, they are going, questing for the history of heavy metal. They are listening to old stuff, and so they know the '80s was very good, maybe one of the best decades for us in heavy metal. So they are listening bands from the '80s, and so we have to put, as I told you before, my name on the poster, my name on the marketing, and also now with Frank Blackfire in the band, we have to put his name also, like ex-creator and guitar of Sodom and things like that.
And how did it happen that Frank Blackfire joined the Troops of Doom? Is it only for the concerts, or will be maybe playing on the next album?
Well, we are talking about that, but Frank is he.
Something happened with the audio. I don't hear you at all.
No.
Oh, okay. Now, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can start again about Frank.
Okay. We talk about that a couple of weeks ago. The first thing I need Frank, and I asked him to do it, and the proposal was to play on the tour, on the next tour, because we have a summer European tour coming up. So we have some festivals. We're going to play at Wacken and a lot of gigs, very important shows for us. So I asked him to be a part of the band for the tour, and he was like, "Okay, let's do it." Then after that, we were knowing each other a little bit more each day and talking, and I really wanted to 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 put Frank on the band in the band as a member for the next album. It would be great for us to do that, and I think it is very possible I don't. We didn't talk about this. I mean, officially, but it's possible to do it. I think. I think he will try to do that. We are waiting for the tour so we can understand each other. Like he understands the band and we can know him better. But everything leads us to join something in the future. Yeah.
And why did Marcelo Vasco left the Troops of Doom? Because he was a very important part of the band, not only playing guitar but also
Yeah. Yeah.
creating, for example, artworks. So what happened that he left?
Yeah. Marcelo is a very known artist, and he makes his money from the arts, and he works for I don't know a Swiss office, nothing to do with music business, but he works with his office. He also do a lot of he does a lot of works for Nuclear Blast and other small labels also, and medium labels and big labels. So he has a lot of work, and he just not into the roads. He doesn't into tour. He's not the kind of guy who loves to go on the road and make tours. He's pretty much a musician to work on the studio. He loves to work on the studio. He a very good composer, and he has a lot of very good ideas. And he has other projects, only studio projects, and like black metal projects and death metal projects. And so I I need him to last year. I need a guy who could play in the band every gig, and not. I don't like to use a sub guitar. Another guy substitute like every gig or most of the gigs. So I talked to him in the beginning of this year in January. We had this meeting, and I asked him like one more time, like, can you do this? Do you want to make the next tour with us? And he was like, man, I don't want to do that because I have to make my money, and I cannot stay out of my home for long times, so a long period. So it was like me and him was like, okay, so the best thing to do is to leave the band, and we're still friends. We are very good friends. Our wives are very good friends, and I can go to his home, and I call him every day. Okay, man, how are you? Everything's okay. So that's it. He left the band like in a very good way.
And recently, the Troops of Doom released a cover of Kiss, God of Thunder, the track which serves as a sort of pre-intro for the show. So what is the story about this cover? Why this particular song? Why is it so important to you?
I think it's for me it's very important because this Kiss was the very first metal rock and roll bands I heard in my life. So I started in the business of metal, listening to Kiss at the first time. So after that, I became a very huge fan of Kiss, and also the guys in my band. So we decided to use this. Okay, let's put a pre intro music, an old song, very important for everybody in the band. So we make a vote, and everybody was like, "Okay, God of Thunder is amazing. Let's do this." And then we use this since the beginning, before our intro, and this is very good because it gives us, and especially gives me a different energy behind the stage, in the backstage, and when I listen to this, and also our fans, they know we are almost getting the stage. So it's like 5 minutes to doom, and like we love that. So we use the original Kiss recording for this, and we will use this every gig from now on also. But we decided to record it and make like a homage to Kiss. Like, okay, we love this song, we have to record it. And then we went to some friends from Brazil and from Europe also, and we went to these guys because we know they are very big Kiss fans also, and they start listening Kiss as I did. So we asked these guys to me and Marcelo. We talked to the guys. Also, Alex talked to uh, to the guys, and we asked them to record. So Chucky Billy, the guys from Brazil, PJ from Brazil. He's one of the most famous um pop bands in Brazil. Not in the metal business, but uh, very popular band in Brazil. He played the bass, and another friend of us makes some vocals. The guy from Doctor Scene in São Paulo, and that's it. A lot of guys. So we love to do it.
And we recently reviewed the EP by Polish band called Zdechły Anioł. How did it come about that you played as a special guest on the Kurwomancer?
Yes, I don't. You know, I know that. I don't know. I would say something bad. Kurwa is a very bad word, right?
Yeah.
In Poland, yeah, and some places, right, like Czech Republic, I think also. Yeah, and this is a very common word in Brazil. I mean, we say this word every day, and that's nothing to do with the bad words. Okay, it means another thing. Curva for us in Portuguese, it's around. It's like, okay, take the right curva. So you have to see that curva over there. So it's like that. So it's around on the road. Um, and then the guys asked me to do that, and I was like, I don't do this frequently. I don't record for other people. I don't make some appearances, and I'm very home guy. I don't like to record for other people and go to parties and everything. So, um, but these guys, I don't know. I felt a good energy when they talked to me, and I listened to the sound, and I was like, okay, I want to do something really really aggressive like this. So was great. Was difficult because I don't have too much time to do it, and I had to go to a studio, and it's not easy for me because I have a lot of work with the band, and but was okay, was good. I think they like it.
And Sepultura is on their farewell tour, and the last concert will gonna be at the end of the year in Sao Paulo. Igor and Max have said that they won't be performing at any of the shows. And what about you? Because you appeared on the DVD in 2005. Would you join the guys on the stage again on the great finale?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Would be an honor for me and a pleasure, sure. Well, if you ask me, I don't think Igor and Max will do it anyway. Um, but I think it will be a very good, very um amazing, good party for the fans. I mean that this final gig in São Paulo. I didn't receive any uh, invitation officially. Nobody asked me to do that, but we talk sometimes. I talk to Andreas sometimes, and not too much, but we talk sometimes. And if he wants me to do that, and if I'm in Brazil, will be my pleasure to do it. Yeah, because it's the end of a very beautiful history, Sepultura.
And this is all that I have prepared, so thank you very much for your time. And I would like you to say at the end, few words to Polish fans of early Sepultura and the thrash death metal of the Troops of Doom.
Okay, Thomas, was a pleasure. Thank you very much. You can call me, you know, anytime you need. And the next tour, we will not play in Poland, but we will play in a lot of places in Germany and also Scandinavia and Bulgaria and Greece. A lot of new places for us. But unfortunately, not in Poland at this time. But next year, for sure, when we release the next album and we make another tour, and I want to go to Poland for sure. I have good friends there. So I want people to follow us on our social medias and from the Troops of Doom, and a very huge, a very big hug for my fans and the fans of old Sepultura, also the fans of new Sepultura. Also, I love all the phases of Sepultura, all the times from Sepultura, and the lineups. But thank you very much, all the fans from old Sepultura and all the fans from the Troops of Doom. Hope to see you next year on the tour, on the road in Poland. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, again, thank you for your time and have a great day because it's like what 4 p.m. in Brazil.
Oh, yes, that's it. And you're gonna sleep now, right?
Yeah. So thank you very much and bye.
Thank you. Bye, Thomas.